Hi, welcome to Golden Age Shooting. Today we are going to cover a problem area and to be more specific with the Steyr Evo 10 electronic pistol. What are all the range of problems that you can face with Steyr Evo 10 electronic? I'm going to list it out one by one, so please listen up. First thing, let's start with the cylinder. So for the cylinder, you can have leakages. Leakages happens in three different ways. First, it can happen from the front, then it requires repair in the front. It can happen in the back, so it can you need repair at the back. So if it's happening in the back, if you dip it in a glass of water, you will see it bubbling. Same way, if you put it in the front, if it's bubbling, that means there is leakage and you have to repair. So this is no brainer, and please don't try to repair it yourself. These have specific torques and very highly specified O-rings, original O-rings, which needs to be replaced. And if you replace it, it can so happen, and I have seen it happen, that it have gone bad in the match. Okay, so don't take chances. Please take it to a certified technician. Okay, next, when you mount the cylinder, then it can start leaking. Only when you mount, it leaks. Okay, that means, and if it's leaking from here, the gap between cylinder and the regulator. Okay, if it's leaking from there, that means it is this O-ring. These O-rings are always given spare in your two O-rings. Spare is provided in your gun case whenever the new gun is delivered to you. If you run out of them, you can easily replace. When you run out of them, you need to buy fresh ones. And it's pretty common that these get damaged once in 6 months, a year. Sometimes it lasts like 3, 4 years, 5 years for people, but generally 6 months to a year it keeps going bad. And if that happens, you need to replace it. Next, coming to the regulator. Any problem with the regulator, there is no way that you can repair it unless you have extensive knowledge or experience in it. There are coaches who have experience of that kind who can repair this, but this requires something we call as a tester. Unless we test it and certify it that yes, this is the kind of pressure it is taking, putting out. Okay, it's not important what's the air going inside, because this can have range between 200 to 70. Okay, so 60. So till then it operates. Okay, but the efficiency lies above 70 and not beyond 200, because the cylinder capacity is 200. Now at all ranges, this regulator the output from the regulator has to be consistent, and that consistent after every shot. Okay, can be checked only with a regulator, that consistency, and not any other way. So you cannot repair this at your own level. If you open this, you have a lot of problems, so never open it without a service technician around or let them do their job. Okay, so that's it with this. And if there is a leakage from behind somewhere here, then of course there is a specific O-rings that needs to be changed, and there is valve pin of course inside. Okay, which again 99% of the case I have never seen it damaged, but there have been a case. Like I said, there have been some cases where the valve pins were damaged, so we had to replace them. Then coming behind, this is the hammer pin. Okay, see it hitting the valve. There you see the dot there. That is what goes and hits the valve every time. So this is held by this tiny piece sear. Okay, sear. Okay, what I call it as catch lever. Okay, so the job of this catch lever is to catch the hammer pin. I will try to show it there. You see a shape there. Okay, getting it somewhere there. You see that? This gets stuck there. This is how it holds. So when you pull the bolt back, hammer pin comes and locks here. See that? Once it locks, okay, now when this sear is moved by the trigger pin, which is this there, that pin on the top. Okay, when that hits this lets go the hammer pin, Okay, slight disengagement, and this goes and hits the valve pin, and then the gun fires. Now what holds this back is this spring. This is your velocity spring, and that goes behind there. Okay, so the more tight this is, the harder the velocity hammer pin goes and hits the valve, so more air comes out, higher velocity. The lesser tension this is in, which is controlled by this screw at the back. The lesser the tension, less air goes, the slower the hammer pin goes and hits the valve pin, and lesser air comes out, and therefore you have lesser output. Now the problem is with Steyr, sometimes this cylinder can go bad. This regulator can go bad, and the output of the regulator can vary drastically. When that happens, no matter how much adjustment you do with this particular spring, it will not work. If the output becomes slow and you keep tightening this, the only outcome is this will break in no time. Okay, you will lose a velocity spring, or if it's old, then of course you have to replace this also. Okay, so these are the problems with Steyr when it comes to the cylinder and regulator. Apart from this, the one thing that can create a major issue is this cam. You see here there is a small pin. Okay, you see that pin there? Yeah, that pin sometimes might break. If it breaks, then the bolt cannot press and hold it down. Okay, this cannot press and hold it down. If that pin breaks, what happens is then there's no more dry fire, or sorry, there's no more live fire, there's only dry fire, because this drops the moment you close. Okay, and this doesn't go down. Okay, this doesn't go down because the bolt is sliding over it. It's not going down, and there's only dry fire, and you will not have any live fire happening. Okay, so this is a problem. And sometimes the spring pops out, and if it's not there, then whatever you do is live fire, and if it comes down, whatever you do is live fire, and there is no dry fire. Okay, so that's another problem area. So cam needs replacement, or spring needs replacement and adjustments. Okay, then when we move to the triggering, so one common problem with Steyrs is your auto fire. Okay, which is a major issue. A lot of shooters have gone through this problem, and sometimes even during matches they have misfired. Okay, and that misfiring, if you not put your finger on trigger and squeeze the trigger, and it's automatically gone out, the pellet has gone out, that means it's called as auto fire, and you lose points. There's no way you can salvage points. You cannot argue with the officer telling that no, I did not shoot. Okay, if you are lucky, if at all you are lucky, but please, you can't beg in front of the range officers there, and because they will again check, and when they load and they check if it's not auto firing, that means there's no weapon malfunction, and they will award you a penalty. So now this wire, if you don't install this correctly, okay, if you don't install this correctly while removing the grip and putting it, this has to come out, okay, on top of the rod which holds this particular rod, which from where the grip screw goes in. Okay, so this cannot go under. If the wire is under, then this will press and this will compress. Okay, so that rod will compress this and squeeze this wire, and it will become very thin, and on movement it can fire. So this wire not taken care can cause auto fires. Next, loose connection in your trigger unit. Loose connections in your trigger unit can cause auto fires. Please don't do anything yourself. Please get to a technician if possible. There's only one possibility. You see there, sometimes you'll not be able to reach the screw. Okay, if you can reach the screw, just give it one small twist. I'm talking about this screw. Hopefully you can see, yeah, that particular screw there. Give it one small twist. Okay, if it's tight already, then no problem. If it's loose, then very small twist. Don't use any pressure, the wire will get cut. Okay, so if that problem you can solve, then auto fire will go out. Circuit per se will not create any problem in terms of auto fires. So if something wrong with the circuit, then it will not fire. Sometimes the battery might have gone after long usage, so you have to replace the battery. And wire, of course, you need to take care. If this wire has loose contact or if this wire is damaged, then there can be auto fire possibilities 100%. These are the major problems with the Steyr Evo Electronic. Okay, now coming to the minor ones. Of course, the bolt. In the bolt housing, you have this absorber. Now the absorber movement can create a problem. Okay, so that has a small catch lever here. Okay, try and show you that. See the catch lever popping out? Yeah, this is supposed to catch. Every time we load, this is supposed to catch, the catch lever is supposed to catch the absorber. In this case, it's not catching, so I need to inspect why. Okay, so when the gun is fired, air comes out of this space from the housing. Okay, when the valve pin moves, comes out here and gets into the bolt from here and then comes out of there. I cannot show you for sure, but there is a very tiny hole there which has access to this catch lever. So when the air comes up, the tiny bit of air comes up, there is a ball and there's a ball there and there is a spring, very tiny spring. Okay, that also can get damaged. If that is damaged, you need replacement. The catch lever, sometimes the teeth grinds out, wears out, so you need to replace the whole catch lever at that point of time. Okay, and it's very expensive, some 3,000 to 4,000 rupees. Okay, so when that hits, the absorber comes back, and when the absorber comes back, you will feel less recoil, and depending on how much absorber is coming back or going forward, the recoil varies. So that needs to be set by a technician, and there are videos online which you can see how to adjust that. But I would recommend always go to a technician and not do it yourself, because you can create 100 problems with the gun. Okay, so other than this, sometimes what happens is when you close, okay, before you fire, this will pop out. Look at the bolt. Okay, the bolt doesn't close, it will keep popping out. Okay, so at that point of time, you will have to adjust the barrel distance. Okay, it needs to be tightened in a particular way. So if that happens, there is a video online, you can check it out, our videos. And if it's not there, if it's not possible by you, then of course you can reach out to a technician, as I said earlier. Okay, and what else? Yes, there is a screw here. Okay, sometimes people fiddle with that and this angles out, and because of that, people start angling the gun. Okay, please don't do it. Take care of your front side. Rear side, rarest of rare case I have seen these damaged. These are one of the sturdiest rear sides available in the market. Of course, you can't use this on other guns, and these I have rarely seen some problems, but of course I have seen sometimes the threads wear out of bad usage. Other than that, you will not have major issues. The only thing is sometimes this, this is for the height adjustment of this plate, back plate. So to change the depth there. Okay, sometimes people over tighten this and the screw goes. It's a very small grub screw and it gets damaged very easily. That's it. I think I've covered 99.9% of all the problems that you can face with Steyr Evo 10 electronic pistol. Hopefully this was a good learning for you guys, and any problem, kindly get to a technician. So I've just laid out all these problems because you know what could go wrong, and I would like to help you guys in learning about how to maintain weapons. Maybe we'll do a masterclass sometime, and all the best, good luck. Anything happens, service technicians are available around. You can always go to them and kindly get the job done and shoot well. And your focus as shooters, I always tell shooters, you're not technicians. Never try to be technicians, please. Okay, because the moment you become technicians, every time you take a shot, you're thinking what can I improve by repairing the gun or changing the gun. So you'll always constantly be finding problems with the guns. and one shooter who learns this is, you know, is setting off a wildfire. So he's touching all guns, everybody's guns, and in the name of saving money, they will end up making you lose a lot of money. So please go to a certified technician only. Good luck, all the best, and shoot well.